Hi, this is a tutorial on using the EBSCO database NoveList Plus to find your new favorite book at the Provo City Library. NoveList is a database designed to connect readers with books that they love. This database has both fiction and nonfiction books for all ages. Before we jump in, I want to define a few terms that I'll be using throughout the tutorial. Reader's Advisory. Reader's Advisory is a service of matching readers with books and other materials for pleasure or recreation. So, professionals such as librarians and educators use Reader's Advisory to help them find books for their patrons and for their students. Caregivers perform Reader's Advisory. Perhaps you have a reluctant reader at home that only wants to read. Dogman. This tool can help you find books that are similar enough to Dogman that your child could be coaxed into reading. And it's also for just readers who want to find their next great book. Maybe they finished a series and don't know what to read next. Here we have read-alikes and listen-alikes. So read-alikes are books or authors that are similar to a favorite book in terms of style, genre, themes, or characters. And a listen-alike is an audiobook that is similar in tone, narration, and production style to a book you've read and loved. Say you were listening to a mystery book that had a full cast recording. A listen-alike would be another audiobook that had a similar production style of a full cast recording, not necessarily just another mystery book. So to get started, we're going to head to the Provo Library homepage at provolibrary.gov, and we're going to go to the collection drop-down menu. From here, you can go down and click on Online Learning and Research. This is the landing page for all things online that we have to offer you with your Provo City Library card. Here we're going to click on Reader Resources and it'll take us to NoveList Plus. We'll visit this link here. We also have a NoveList K through 8 Plus that is strictly for children, but we're going to focus on NoveList Plus that has adult and children's books. So here's where you would log in with your library card number and your PIN to access, and then it will take you to the home page of NoveList. So first, I want to draw your attention to the left-hand side of the page, and these drop-down menus. These are quick, easy ways to find books. These curated lists are created by the staff of NoveList and connect books in interesting, unique ways that maybe you wouldn't have, that are not obvious. So I like this tab for fans of. This brings up pop culture topics and different timely topics, maybe something that's popular in the news now, to help you find a book connected to that. So I like for the fans of Wes Anderson. So these are books that are reminiscent of a Wes Anderson film. So there's 15 books in this list that you can click through and explore. What I like about these curated lists is that they are created by a staff member at NoveList. So this book list is created by Autumn Winters. She creates lists for all ages, and she has 30 years of library experience. So this list is not generated by AI or some algorithm. It is generated by someone who has knowledge and experience in Reader's Advisory. And I think that's what makes NoveList so special in terms of Reader's Advisory, rather than just say a Google search. So on the others, and so another thing on this left-hand side is the quick links. This will give you links to articles, audiobooks, award winners. What I want to highlight here is the book club best bets. So if you click on this, this will give you a list of books that would be great for a book club. Book clubs are tricky to select books for because you want to have a book that has a lot to talk about and discuss, but you also want something that maybe has mass appeal that can be enjoyable by a variety of readers. And so this search here gives you lots of suggestions of books that could be popular with the book club. Okay, and last on the left, I want to draw your attention to this How Do I? This is the help section of NoveList Plus. These are articles that EBSCO has created to help you dive deeper into the database. So if you're looking for books by grade or reading level, or maybe setting up a search alert for books so that you'll be notified when books are released, is here. So I'm going to go back to the home page and just go quickly through the home page and show you what's cool features are here. So this first box here shows you books with buzz. These are books that have been mentioned in a media outlet I like to use the example of, I heard a book on NPR, but I don't remember what it is called. So you can click here on the Media Mentions Index. You were driving in the car and listening to the radio and you didn't have time to write it down. So you could scroll down to NPR and you can be like, oh yes, it was on the show All Things Considered. And you can click and it'll give a list of the books that were mentioned on All Things Considered, and you can find the book that you heard about. You can search by the date newest, and you can filter these results a little bit so you could see what was talked about. And this is a great way to find a book. Okay, so back to the home page. We have another link to curated lists, and this gives you a few examples, but you can also click to see all. So then we can scroll down and we can explore titles by story element. You can pick a couple of these. Maybe you want a historical romance that is witty, and it'll give you a box to click for 146 titles, and you can browse that way for new books to read. And then you can also start browsing by very broad subject categories here, adults, teens, and kids. So I wanted to show you a way to find a read-alike based off of a book that you previously read and loved. So here's our basic search bar, and if we click up here, we could type the title of a book or an author that we loved. I recently read Bog Queen and really enjoyed it, and I want to find read-alikes that are similar to Bog Queen. So when I do the search, the first thing that pops up here is the book that I read that I was looking for. It also pops up with the author, Anna North, and a list that the book was on. It was featured on Library Reads Favorites of 2025, and I could also browse that book. There are links everywhere to click and find books. So let's go to the title page for Bog Queen, and this will give us some more information. It gives us a link to Goodreads, so we could read Goodreads reviews and learn more about the book. And what I wanted to focus on is this here, where this is the covers of books that are read-alikes to Bog Queen. So this is your chance to judge a book by its cover and click on something that might seem interesting to you. So I'm going to show you this second book here, and it pops over on the right-hand side, and it gives you more information about the book. So this is a nonfiction book, and here is the reason why NoveList suggested this book. And again, it is written by a real person. Michael Shoemate has given us a reason of why he suggested this book as a read-alike. So this book is a nonfiction book about peat bogs. So maybe that is why I love the Bog Queen, and I wanted to learn more about peat bogs. And so then here's the description of the nonfiction book, and it talks about how bogs have been long misunderstood and how these wetlands can help save the planet. So that sounds fascinating to me. So if this was something that I thought, yeah, I want to check this out, I could click on View Details, and it will take us to the title page of this nonfiction book. And it has this purple Check Catalog button. If we click this, it will take us directly to the Provo City Library catalog, and we can see if it's available. Oh, unfortunately, this one is not available. The item is missing, but I can place it on hold, or I can reach out to the library and get their help on how I can get a hold of this title. So we'll go back to our home page for the Bog Queen, and just like on the home page of NoveList, we have elements from this specific book where we can select aspects of this book that we really enjoyed. And this is a great way to learn about, like, maybe what did you enjoy about the book that it's hard to maybe put into words, but these tags can help us really narrow down what it is we liked about the book and what we're looking for in another book. So say maybe I like that it was richly detailed and unconventional. And here we get a list of 105 books. I've learned that if you click more than 3 tags, your search results are very limited. And perhaps it might even only give you one book, the book that you originally started with. And so you want to maybe just stick to 2 or 3 tags to explore the books. And then again, here comes a list of books that you can browse through and find books that are similar, that are richly detailed and unconventional. So as we can see, there are lots of ways to find book titles and resources through NoveList to help you find your next great read. If you have any questions, please reach out to the Provo Library. Here's our website, provocitylibrary.gov. We'd be happy to help you. We have a Chat the Librarian feature on our homepage. We also have our contact information that you can give us a call. We'd love to help guide you through NoveList and provide a reader's advisory service to you to help you find your next great read.